In this session, we will be learning about prepaid expenses or advance expenses. So, as the name itself suggests, a prepaid expense or advance expense is an expense which is paid in advance but not due. Okay, the simple example of prepaid expense that I can give is, see, for the sometimes a milkman which comes to your home, he has the coupon systems. Okay, so what does he do? He comes at the beginning of month, he'll give you some coupons, say 30 or 45 liters depending on your requirement, and he takes the advance from you, okay, for the month. That is nothing but a example of prepaid expense or advance expense. Okay, now we will look at the example of prepaid expenses and advance expense, and then we'll see how to pass a journal entry and give an effect to a ledger account in the prepaid expense and advance expense. Now, one thing, if you notice, prepaid expense is just opposite of outstanding expense. Okay, in outstanding expense, what has happened? Outstanding, if there is some outstanding expense, we are paying the expense later. Okay, the expense has been incurred already, but we are paying it later. Whereas in prepaid and advance expense, we are paying it in advance, but the expense is not yet due. Now, let's see an example for a prepaid expense. Now here there is one example of prepaid expense. Okay, A1 Incorporated, Inc. is incorporated, signs an annual maintenance contract with GBP Company Limited for maintenance of machinery in a factory. As per the terms of contract, maintenance charges for the entire year to be paid in advance, payment to be made by check. Okay, date of contract is 1/1/2016, period of contract is from 1/1/2016 to 31st December 2016, and amount of contract is 12,000 rupees. Okay, now A1 Inc., what he has done, it has signed a contract with the GBP Company Limited. Okay, for what? Maintenance. AMC we usually call it, that is annual maintenance contract. Okay, so as per the terms of contract, ANC Incorporated has to pay GBP amount of rupees 12,000. Okay, 12,000 to be paid on 1/1/2016. Okay, now 12,000 is the amount for the period of all 12 months. See, the period of contract is from 1/1/2016, that is Jan 2016 to the end of December 2016, that is 12 months. So 12,000 for 12 months. So what is the cost of one for 1 month? It's 1,000 rupees. Okay, now this 12,000 rupees is paid on 1st Jan 2016, that is this 12,000 rupees is paid in advance. Okay, so once the amount has been paid, now this is paid in advance, correct? So what will happen? This expense is yet to be accrued or due, right? Maintenance he has not yet done. So when will the expense be accrued? It will be accrued at the end of every month, when the GBP Company Limited will come and do the maintenance of the machinery. Okay, so what will happen? At the end of Jan 2016, 1,000 needs to be expensed out, right? 12,000 divided by, at the end of February 2016, 1,000 expense. Then for March, the expense will be 1,000. For April, expense will be 1,000, and so on for all the months till December 2016. Okay, now this is how the transactions will flow. Okay, now let's see how the journal entries need to be passed. Now what we will do is we will pass the journal entry up to April 2016. Okay, in this example. So first journal entry. See, first journal entry will be on 1/1/2016, amount of rupees 12,000 is being paid. Okay, so first journal entry I'll put on 1/1/2016. Okay, amount is being paid, right? Now amount is paid by what? Amount is paid by check. It's given here. Payment to be made by check. If you see the second line, right? So one account that will be affected is bank account, right? And now the amount is paid, and what is the nature of expense? Nature of expense is a prepaid expense. Now prepaid expense is a representative personal account. It's representing GBP private limited company, right? Now you will have a doubt that why can't we name it as advance to GBP private company limited. Okay, we can name it as advance to GBP company limited also, but practically what happens is there will be many AMC contracts in the company, right? So it's not possible to keep a track and record of each and every account. It's similar to your salaries payable account. There will be lakhs of employees, so it's necessary to have one representative account. Same way for prepaid expenses, for different types of companies or AMC contracts, we will have one representative account, that is prepaid expenses, or we can also name it as advance expenses. So now let's see what is a bank. One is a bank account, one is a prepaid expenses account. Now bank account, what? It's a personal account. Okay, so what is a rule for the personal account? Debit the receiver, credit the giver. So bank is giving here, so we have to credit the bank account, right? Prepaid expenses is also a representative personal account, right? So what is the rule? Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Now whom is this prepaid expense account representing? GBP limited, correct? Now GBP limited is receiving the amount, right? So you have to debit it. So the entry on 1st Jan 2016 will be prepaid expenses account debit, okay, to bank account, and voucher number I'll just give it as 1. And what is the amount? Amount is 12,000 rupees, right? Amount of the contract. Since the entire amount is paid in advance, amount will be 12,000 rupees. Okay, being expenses for machinery maintenance paid in advance to GBP limited by check number. You have to write a check number and then dated so and so. Okay, so this is how we pass the entry for the prepaid expense. Now next, at the end of the month, what will happen? At the end of the month, the GBP company limited will come, they will do the maintenance services, right? So at the end of month, rupees 1,000 is due to them, right? We have to pay them rupees 1,000. But if you see, we have already paid rupees 12,000, right? So we need not pay them anything. It needs to, that 1000 rupees of Jan 2016 needs to be adjusted with 12,000 which has been already paid on 1/1/2016, right? So we'll pass an entry for the expense due. So one effect we have to give it to prepaid expenses, since we need to adjust it from prepaid expenses, okay? And we need not pay anything, so no effect to the bank account. Now one effect will go to your expense, that is maintenance charges account, right? It's a maintenance charges. Okay, now prepaid expenses is a representative personal account, correct? And maintenance charges is what? Nominal account, correct? Now maintenance charges, what is a rule for nominal account? Debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. Maintenance charges is an expense, so we have to debit it. Now as said earlier, this prepaid expense is a representative personal account. Now in the current situation, it is representing whom? GBP Company Limited. So what is the rule for the personal account? Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Here GBP Company Limited has been already given the money. Now it has given the services, right? So we have to credit the GBP Company Limited, okay? So maintenance services are given by GBP Company Limited, so we have to credit the prepaid expenses. So maintenance charges account, debit to prepaid expenses account, okay? And the date here will be what? 31st Jan 2016. I'll just put it as entry number 2. What will be the amount? Amount is 1000, so we'll put it as B maintenance charges for the month of Jan 2016 adjusted from prepaid expenses, okay? Now again it's the end of Jan, then 1st Feb, there is nothing, no financial obligation to pay, then services will be provided by them at the end of the month. So on 1st Feb we need not pass any entry. Again on the end of the Feb, that is 28th February 2016, or say 29th February 2016, it's a leap year. So at the end of the month, 29 16, okay? Again we have to pass the same entry, that is maintenance charges account, debit to prepaid expenses account. Entry number is 3 and amount will be same, 1000. We have done this working, right? So every month the amount that will accrue is 1000 rupees. Again 1st March there is no entry, but at the end of the March, that is 31st March 2016, there will be the entry, that is maintenance charges account, debit to prepaid expenses account. Now this narration will continue here also, but just charges for the month of Jan you have written. Here you have to write it as Feb, here you have to write it as March, okay? amount is 1000. Then again for the for the April, 1st April there is no entry. End of the month you have maintenance account debit to prepaid expenses. Amount is how much? 1000. Okay, and this is how you will keep on passing one journal entry at the end of every month for rupees 1000 till 31st 12 2016, right? So this is how you'll pass a journal entry. Now the similar journal entry will continue on 31 May 2016, then 30th June 2016, then 31 7 2016, 31 8 2016, 39 2016, 31st October 2016, 30th November 2016, and 31 12 2016. The same journal entry will repeat. Okay, now after 31 12 2016, what is happening? The contract has expired, right? So there won't be any further journal entries unless the contract is renewed and some amount is paid for the next year. Okay, so let's see what is the effect of all these entries in the ledger account. Okay, now we will prepare two ledger accounts here. One is prepaid expenses account and one is maintenance charges account. Bank, there is only one entry, that is 12,000 amount is paid. So we need not prepare that. Okay, so let's prepare two ledger accounts. One is prepaid expenses account and one is maintenance charges account. Okay, so first I'll prepare prepaid expenses account, debit credit, and next is maintenance charges account. Debit and credit. Okay, now we will post the entries for first 4 months, that is 30th April 2016. Okay, just to get an idea of how the ledger account looks like. So on 1/1/2016, prepaid expenses account to bank account. Okay, so prepaid expenses account is debited and bank account is credited, right? So on 1/1/2016, the entry will be on the debit side of prepaid expenses account to bank account, and voucher number I'll put it as 1, amount is 12,000. Now second effect of this entry will go on credit side of bank account, but in this example we have not prepared the bank account. If we would have prepared on the credit side of bank account, we would have written by prepaid expenses account 12,000. Okay, since there is no one entry, I have not prepared it. Okay, now 12,000. Now the entry on 31st Jan 2016, maintenance charges account debit to prepaid expenses account 1000 1000. So maintenance charges account debit, so we'll go to maintenance charges account, maintenance charges account debit, and what is the date? 31/1/2016. So maintenance charges account debit to what? To prepaid expense account, amount is 1000. So on debit side we'll write this 1000. Okay, so on prepaid expenses account, So on prepaid expenses account has been credited. So on credit side of prepaid expenses account, we'll write 31/1/2016 by maintenance charges account. Voucher number is 2, amount is rupees 1000. So now the next entry is on February. So we'll close the books of accounts and carry the balance forward. Okay. Prepaid expenses account. (31/1/2016) by balance carried forward. How much is it? 11,000, right? 12,000 minus 1,000. So on 1st Feb 2016, to balance brought forward, how much it is? 11,000. Okay. Similarly, we'll do it for maintenance charges account also. Okay. So on 31/1/2016 by balance carry forward 1,000, right? So on 1/2/2016 to balance brought forward 1,000. Okay. Now the next entry, that is entry number 3, on 29th Feb 2016. Again the entry is maintenance charges account, debit to prepaid expenses account 1000. So maintenance charges account is debited. So on 29/2/2016 to prepaid expenses account 1000, right? Then prepaid expenses account has been credited. So on credit side, 29/2016 by maintenance charges account 1000, right? Now the next entry is on what? 31st March. So again we will close the books of account. 11,000 and 29/2/2016 by balance carry forward 11,000 minus 1,000, that is 10,000. Then 1/3/2016 to balance brought forward 10,000. Okay. Now maintenance account also will close. Total is 2,000 on debit side. Credit side there is no entry. So total is 2,000. So on 29/2/2016 by balance carry forward 2,000 on 1st March 2016 to balance brought forward 2,000. Right? Now we'll pass one entry for March. Entry number 4, 31st March. Again the entry is same, maintenance charges account, debit to prepaid expenses. So maintenance charges account, debit side 31 March 2016 to prepaid expenses account 1,000. Okay. Prepaid expenses account credit side on 31st March 2016 by maintenance charges account. How much is the amount? 1,000. Again, the next entry is on 30th April 2016, so we'll close the books for the March. So the total is 10,000. 10,000 minus 1,000, that makes it 9,000. So on 31st March 2016, by balance carry forward, it's 9,000. So on 1st April 2016, to balance brought forward 9,000. A second effect, we'll give it, first we'll close it, then okay, so total is 3,000 on debit side, credit side 0, so total is 3,000, we are taking it on both sides. Then on 31st March 2016, by balance carried forward 3,000. Then 1st April 2016, to balance brought forward 3,000. Okay, the next entry is on what? 30th April 2016, and how much is the amount? 1,000, 1,000. So maintenance charges account debit 34, 2 prepaid expenses account 1,000. Then total. First we'll give the second effect, then we'll see the total. Okay, prepaid expense on the credit side, 30th April 2016, by maintenance charges account 1,000. Total here comes to 9,000. 9,000. Then by balance carry forward 8,000 on 1/5/2016, to balance brought forward 8,000. Right, same way we do it for expense account also. So we total comes to 4,000. Then on 30/4/2016, by balance carry forward 4,000. Then on 1/5/2016, to balance brought forward 4,000. Okay, now this way we will pass all the entries till 31st December 2016. Now if you look at ledger account systematically, you will come to know that the balance which has been brought forward at the beginning of each month goes on reducing. For example, on 1/12/2016, balance was 11,000. Then on 1/3/2016, balance has come to 10,000. 1/4/2016, balance has come to 9,000. 1/5/2016, balance has come to 8,000. So in prepaid expenses account, systematically the balance is coming down every month. Okay, now similarly if you go to the expense account, maintenance charges account, what is happening? Balance brought forward is increasing. See, 1/12/2016 it was 1,000, 1/3/2016 it was 2,000, 1/4/2016 it was 3,000. So if you think logically, the maintenance charges till the month of say May, right, 1st May, that is 30th April, should be how much? See, every month the maintenance charges is 1000. So 1000 into 4, that is 4000. The same is balance brought forward, which is shown here. Okay. So this is how the entry is been posted in the ledger accounts. Okay. Now here we are seeing one more example of the prepaid expenses. Okay. Ashish Private Limited signs a air condition maintenance contract with SP Industries Limited. As per the terms of contract, 3-month charges to be paid in advance. Details of contract are as follows. So, see, the date of contract is again 1st Jan 2016. Period of contract is 1st Jan 2016 to 31st December 2016. That is, period is how much? It's 12 months. Okay. Then payment to be made by check. Okay. Now period 1/1/2016 to 31st 3/2016, that makes it how much? Jan, Feb and March, 3 months. Correct? 3 months. Amount is how much? 1500. And date of payment is 1st Jan 2016. So for 1/1/2016 to 31/3/2016, that is for 3 months, you are paying an advance of 1500 on 1st Jan 2016 itself. Similar is the case in the next months. For April to June, that is April, May, June, the maintenance charges of 1500 you are paying it on 1st April 2016. Then for July also, July, August, September, 3 months you are paying it on 1st July 2016. Then for 1/10/2016, 31/12/2016, that is 1500, you are paying it on 1st October 2016. Now let's make a table of payment. And now first 1500 paid on 1/1/2016. This is for 3 months. For the month of Jan 16, Feb 16, March 16. How much is the amount? 1500. 1500 for 3 months. The per month amount will be 500. That is 1500 divided by 3. Correct? 500. Now the next is 1500, second installment, paid on 1/4/2016. Now this is for how many months? This is for the month of April, May, June. And how much is the amount? 1500 divided by 3, that is 500, 500, 500. Okay, now the third installment is paid on what? Paid on 1500 paid on 1/7/2016. This is for the month of what? July, August, September. Right? And how much is the amount again? Amount is 1500. So 1500 for 3 months. So amount for each month is 500. Right? Now 1500 paid on 1/10/2016 for the month of October, November, December. So per month amount will be again 500, 500, 500. Okay, so we'll just pass the journal entries till say April end to get an idea. This is little different example. There we had paid, in example number 1, we had paid the total amount as advance annually, right, on 1st Jan. Here we are paying 3 months amount as advance at the beginning of every quarter, right? So we'll pass the entries now. So journal entries in the books of Ashish Private Limited. Okay, so let's see. First is a payment entry on 1st Jan 2016, right? So what are the two accounts that are affected? Since we are paying it through check, one is the bank account, and since we are paying an advance expense, the other account will be prepaid expenses account. Okay, so 1st Jan 2016. Now bank account is a personal account, so debit the receiver, credit the giver. Here bank is giving the amount of 1500, so we'll credit the bank. Prepaid expenses account, again as explained earlier, it's a representative personal account, so debit the receiver, credit the giver. Here the company is receiving the amount. This prepaid expenses is representing whom? SP Industries. So SP Industries is receiving the amount, so entry will be prepaid expenses account, debit the receiver. How much is the amount? 1500. To bank account 1500, right? Being maintenance charges of AC paid to SP Industries. 3 months advance by check. Number you have to write so and so, dated so and so. Okay, now again at the end of the January we have to pass an entry and recognize the expense. So at the end of Jan, that is 31st Jan 2016, what will be the two accounts that will be affected? One is AC maintenance charges account, and the other account, since it's already being paid, the other account affected will be prepaid expenses account, right? Now AC maintenance charges is an nominal account, so debit all expenses and losses. So on 31st Jan 2016 we put AC maintenance charges account, debit. Now prepaid expenses is a representative personal account, debit the receiver, credit the giver. Here SB Industries is providing maintenance charges, it's giving the maintenance charge, so to prepaid expenses account. And what is the amount? Amount for the month of Jan is 500, so you have to put it 500, right? Being expense for the month of Jan 2016 adjusted against prepaid expenses. Okay, so now the next entry will be on what? End of February. Okay, so 29 Feb 2016, AC maintenance charges account, debit 500 to prepaid expenses account 500. Okay, narration will be same except for the month will come as Feb 2016, right? Then March. Okay, March. See the amount. March is again 500. So 31st March 2016, AC maintenance charges account, debit 500 to prepaid expenses account, amount is 500. Then narration is same except for the month will be March 2016. Now the next month, that is April. Now see what has happened on 1st April 2016, again 1500 has been paid for the month of April, May and June. So we will first pass this entry, payment entry. So on 1/4/2016, what are the two accounts that are affected? Since it's a prepaid expense, one is prepaid expense account, another one is bank account. Both are personal account. The rule is debit the receiver, credit the giver. So prepaid expenses account will debit it. So prepaid expenses account debit 1500 to bank account 1500, being advance expenses for a quarter paid to, what is the industry name? I think it's SP Industries, right? SP Industries Limited, to SP Industries Limited by check number so and so, dated so and so. Okay, now the next thing. Now on 1st April we have made a payment for the month of April, May and June. So at the end of April again we need to pass this entry. At the end of April again we need to recognize the expense. So the similar entry, this entry, AC maintenance charges account debit to prepaid expenses. AC maintenance charges account debit to prepaid expenses account. Okay, and the narration will be same, right, for the month of April 2016. So all the journal entries till April are passed. Similarly it will continue till the month of December. But remember one thing, at the beginning of every quarter, that is say on 1/7/2016 and 1/10/2016, there will be one payment entry, since we are paying advanced only for the quarter and not for the entire year as we did it in the earlier example. Okay, now what you can do is you can prepare a ledger account and see how logically the prepaid expense account balance will come down every month, and how the AC maintenance charges account balance will keep on accumulating for every month. And then you can check whether your calculation, whatever you have done, like say the expense account balance as on April 30th April should be how much. See, it's for 4 months, right? So expense account balance should be how much? 500 each month. So 500 for Jan, Feb, March and April. So 500 into 4. So expense account balance as on 30th April 2016, or balance brought forward as on 1st May 2016 should be 2000. So you can prepare a ledger account in a similar way and you can see the effect. Okay. Similarly, for prepaid expenses account, the balance every month will keep on reducing. Also, the balance will increase since you are making a quarterly payment. but as on 31st December 2016, balance has to be nil. That's all. Thank you.